What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about Camp Blood 2. So my overall opinion of the movie is that for what it was, I thought it was decent. You know, these movies are extremely low budget. They're pretty much micro budget, and they kind of have that like backyard home movie feel. So going in knowing that this is the type of movie it was going to be, I I thought it was decent for what it was. It was not bad, and I wasn't bored out of my mind. I was, you know, generally entertained. So I thought the movie was decent for what it was, and it kind of improved on quite a few things from the first movie. So that was nice. And jumping into the plot summary, we have a returning character, the final girl, the only survivor from the first movie. Trisha is back in this movie, and it's a year after the events of the first movie, and this film crew, they're reaching out to Trisha because they're creating a film that's based on the events of the first movie, and they want Trisha as a technical advisor so she can, set them straight and get the story straight and make sure everything's accurate. So this film crew, they hire Trisha from the first movie as a technical advisor, and then they go film on location at Camp Blood, and once they're there, they start getting killed off by a masked clown killer once again. So that is the basic plot summary. Like I said, this movie improved upon several things from the first movie. It's still shot on video, so it's like a real grainy, rough video quality. It looks like it was filmed on just some cheap home video camera, but the video quality of this is leaps and bounds better than the video quality in the first one. It still looks terrible, but the first movie had, like, there were some different hues. There was like a green tinge to some of the shots, and it was like extremely grainy. This, whatever camera they used in this one, was a lot better. So that was an improvement. I thought the mask that the clown was wearing was a lot better in this. People could still argue that this one was kind of goofy, but I don't know. I liked the clown mask in this a lot better. I thought the mask in the first one was pretty goofy. This, I don't know, this one was kind of cool. It was like a unique, like, clown with this giant smile, and it was kind of creepy. So I thought the mask was better, and then the editing and the cinematography was better. Like, some of the kills were shot in a cool way. I'm gonna get into that in a sec. And the editing was quite a bit better. You didn't have, like, in the first movie, you had some terrible transitions. Like, I can't even put it into words how bad these transitions were. Like, they were just overused, and they looked terrible, and they were unnecessary. Like, this movie, I don't recall any of those terrible transitions. So yeah, the editing was better and the cinematography was better. And then, like I said, in terms of cinematography, the kills were shot better, but the kills in general in this were leaps and bounds better. Like, the kills, I was surprised in this because the kills, like, all, like, the gore effects and the practical effects surrounding the kills were actually pretty darn solid for this little micro budget backyard movie. Like, the first kill, this guy gets like a machete through the chest, and you get to see everything, and it keeps like cutting back and forth. You see the back view, you see the front view, and it's bloody, it's gory, it looks pretty good. It doesn't look great, but like for this cheap of a movie, it looks pretty good, and it's not just a cutaway, so I was happy. And initially when I saw that kill, I'm like, I'm like, maybe they're just going all out. This is the opening kill. They kind of want to hook people in. I'm like, maybe the rest of the kills will suck. But pretty much all the kills in this movie were at that level. Like, there were no cutaways. There was a decent variety of kills. There was good gore. So yeah, I thought the kills in this were very solid for what the movie was, and they were way better than the kills in the last movie. So a couple of standouts were there was this really good throat slit. It looked super realistic, and there was like blood spraying, and it wasn't just like they put some blood on the guy's neck. Like, it was a realistic looking throat slit. And then there's this one guy. He's like this alcoholic guy. He gets like a broken beer bottle through both of his eyes, and that was like a really cool creative kill, and it was kind of neat because he was like an alcoholic throughout the movie, and he's getting killed with the beer bottle. It was kind of fun. But the way that they filmed that, this is what I'm saying. Like, the cinematography was better. Like, it would cut between the killer stabbing the bottle in his eyes. Then you would see like the front view of his eyes, and it's all bloody. You would see it would like cut to the face of the killer, and the killer stabbing, and then you would see a point of view from the victim's perspective where you can see him like looking through the neck of the bottle. So I thought that kill was not only creative and fun because it was like, who gets killed with like a beer bottle in the eye? That's kind of innovative. Plus, it was kind of neat because, like I said, the guy was an alcoholic, so it kind of fit. And then it was the way it was like filmed. There was like a lot of like variety with the shots and some creative shots. So I was surprised with that, and that was a really good kill as well. So those were my two favorites. There were quite a few other kills that were good too. I'll give an honorable mention to there's this one guy, he's like smoking a joint, and he gets his hand chopped off, and I think they had some animatronic hand where like the fingers are still moving and the joints still in the hand. That was pretty good. I mean, some of these kills you wouldn't really get killed. Like, if your hand got cut off, you probably wouldn't die, unless you could die of blood loss. But yeah, you could die from that. But the where the guy got stabbed in the eye, you could survive that too. But anyways, I thought the kills were good. Like, I mean, this doesn't have to be the most realistic movie ever. So yeah, the kills were pretty tight. And then I have one more point here, and this is kind of a random point, and this is a spoiler. So if you don't want to get spoiled, turn the video off at this point, and maybe like watch the movie and come back, or I don't know, do whatever the heck you want to do. But anyways, spoiler alert. During the climax, during the final confrontation between Trisha and the killer, Trisha like dumps some gasoline on the killer, and she basically lights the killer on fire, burns her to death. But then the killer comes back, and Trisha just has to like stab her to death with the machete. But I thought it was funny when the killer got burned alive because of the lighter that Trisha was using. I don't know if you all are familiar with these type of lighters, but there's these little cheap lighters that you can get for like 25 cents or 50 cents, and they're these like kind of tall, skinny lighters that they're like random colors. They'll be like blue or green or purple, and they're almost like a transparent. It's like it's like colored, but it's kind of transparent, and you can see the lighter fluid in it, and they're plastic, and they're super cheap. Everyone calls them crack lighters because I guess people smoke crack with them or something. But yeah, basically those lighters are the worst lighters ever. Like, they're cheap, but they're ineffective. You'll try like, if there's like a slight breeze or any little gust of wind, like you can't light your cig or cigar or blunt or whatever, and And in addition to that, like, not only does the wind F with these lighters, sometimes you'll just strike it like 5 times and no flame will come out, or the flame will be like that tall. So I just thought it was funny that Trisha just like with one flick was able to get the crack lighter to work and was able to light the killer on fire. Because those things, you have to flick that thing like 12 times. Like, there's a reason they're only 25 cents. Crack lighters suck. Like, that's like if you're down bad, like worst case scenario, you can't afford a Bic lighter, which who can? They're like $3 nowadays. But anyways, yeah, I just thought it was funny that she just did one flick with a crack lighter and like was able to instantly light the killer on fire. I'm talking about unrealistic. You know, that's the most unrealistic part of the movie. I don't care about people getting beer bottles stabbed in their eyes and dying. That I don't care about that. I care about realism with crack lighters. And there was just, I mean, you know how Trisha was the technical advisor for the fictional film in the movie, to make sure everything was correct about the story of the events of the first film. They need to make me. They should have had me in this movie. I would have been the technical advisor for lighters. I've been like, dude, there's no way you could light this girl on fire with a crack lighter. It's not happening. There's a slight breeze, it's all over. The flame is that big, it's not happening. I'm like, get a barbecue lighter, get a Bic, get a Zippo, any other lighter. You can't. This is so unrealistic. A crack lighter would never just ignite someone. Like, they would just be engulfed in flames in a second. That's unrealistic. So yeah, I'm trying to start my new career as a technical advisor for films, just only for like scenes involving lighters. That's gonna be my new thing. Yeah, so I'm gonna make bank. I'm gonna be famous. It's gonna be cool. But anyways, that was the last point that I wanted to get into. And in terms of a recommendation, I think I kind of said something similar to this in my first Camp Blood review. Even though I found this movie mildly entertaining and I thought, you know, there were some cool kills and stuff, I wouldn't recommend it because, I don't know, I feel like a lot of people would not be into this movie. Even though it looks better than the first one, it's real grainy. It has a super cheap look, and it's almost like a backyard home movie look, and a lot of people, I feel like, would just not be into these movies. So even though I found it mildly enjoyable, once again, I would not recommend this movie. So that's been my recommendation, and that has been my review of Camp Blood 2. Thank you all very much for watching, and peace out.